This young man jokingly calls himself a New Age Muslim terrorist. Armed with a sense of humour, he's waging a war against Islamophobia. A spoof Dutch news channel. Prince Willem-Alexander has converted to Islam and is celebrating his recent circumcision. The Prime Minister's failed his halal citizen course and is taking extracurricular classes in Mecca.
Inshallah.
This satirical documentary by Ersin Kiris aims to counter a Dutch politician's plan to release an anti-Islamic film. Right-wing MP Geert Wilders compares the Quran to Hitler's Mein Kampf. He wants to send Muslim immigrants back to their countries of origin.
It's too late to only have sophisticated talk amongst one another. We, as the Netherlands and Western Europe, we were too tolerant too long, ignoring the problem of the Islamization of our continent.
Holland's home to about 1 million Muslims. They make up more than 6% of the country's population, and many believe Geert Wilders is spreading Islamophobia.
It's really painful to see people really believe this. They really believe the Muslims are here to conquer Holland and put the Sharia rules in place of democracy, and are aggressive and are fascist, and it's really hard to feel home at one place if people believe in these fairy tales. Humor is the best way to cope with frustrations and problems.
But Geert Wilders is attracting support. This man doesn't only share the MP's haircut, he shares his views on the Quran.
There is a small group of fanatics, and they take those, lines seriously, or they don't see the symbolism in it, and they practice it, like hitting your wife. That's quite normal. If a wife doesn't agree with the opinion of her man, then he's allowed to hit her.
But for others, Geert Wilders is abusing freedom of speech.
It might endanger Dutch people who work in other countries, and there are lots of them, because there's so many Muslims who are offended, will be offended by this film.
Freedom of speech is the best freedom you can have, but you should use it in the best way, and not to treat people like they are different or they are not good enough and so on.
Some analysts think that he's playing on people's fears to gain votes.
The Geert Wilders rhetoric takes the focus off the real problems. The real problems are of socio-economical nature, and he makes it a theological problem. That's not the issue here.
Dutch society has traditionally been very tolerant, but in recent years tensions have been mounting. This is the spot where the film director Theo van Gogh was shot dead in 2004. He made a critical film about Islamic culture. Geert Wilders has himself received death threats and has round-the-clock police protection. The Dutch government fears the release of the film could damage foreign relations. Muslims in other countries have already staged street protests in scenes reminiscent of the Danish cartoon crisis. Geert Wilders insists his film is coming soon, but he's still searching for a willing TV channel, one that doesn't consider it bad taste. Jessica Le Masurier, Russia Today, Amsterdam.